So this week's topic of Amuna Mondays was seeing the beauty in each other. And before we begin, the class is dedicated to a couple names, so I'll say them now and I'll repeat them at the end as well. It's in honor of Lule Nishmat for Yosef ben Devora and Gabrielle Masauda Batsara, as well as Yosef Meir ben Avram Shmuel. May all their neshamot have the ultimate aliyah, as well as a refuah shalema for Eliezer ben Miriam Razel. May the person have an immediate, speedy, full recovery. So the topic of seeing the beauty in each other. The reason I chose the topic was because slowly but surely, like every day that was going by last week, I just felt like, why do people not value each other? Like certain people, they get all this praise and wow, and you see you're looking at like your best friend and you're like, wow, like we're best buds, we're friends. And then there's other people that you can't stand. And it's like, well, what's the difference? Like, really, genuinely, what's the difference between the two people? Why do I love one person and I can't stand the other person? And why am I nice to certain people and I'm not necessarily nice to others? And it just made me realize, you know what? Like, one, I see the beauty in one person, and maybe I lack or I don't see the beauty in another person. Hence the reason why I don't treat them well or speak nicely to them, or treat them as the same way as a person that I do see and like acknowledge the beauties in them. And because of that, that made me realize, like, the truth is, all we really have to do is work extremely hard, and the goal is to see the beauty in each other and in everything. And that's the counter and the solution to, kindness, joy, happiness. Like, all these things come from just acknowledging the beauty, because the truth is, like, when you realize, like, why am I mean to a person? Like, why would I ever be mean to a person? Chances are because they were mean to me. Like, you were rude to me, I'm going to be rude back to you. You're disrespecting me, I'm going to be disrespectful to you. And where does it stem from, though? There has to be, like, sure, that's a reason that's pivoting off of something else, but where did it originate from? And the truth is, it's just a lack of, I just never saw the beauty in the person. We got off on the wrong foot, or the first time I met the person was like this. And you realize, like, there's nothing different. The only difference is that I have not found the beauty in that person. Because the truth is, if I was respectful towards somebody, I'm typically respectful towards, something that I give value to. It's like, oh, this person's a human, so there's value to that. I'm respectful, I'm nice, I'm kind, I treat somebody with respect. If you find yourself not doing those things, you're not being respectful, you're not being nice, you're not treating anybody, the person with respect, chances are you're just not seeing the beauty in them. And because you don't see the beauty in them, you're not giving them any value. There's no value to them. So it's like you're not treating them properly, you're mistreating them, you're misusing them, you're doing all these things because in your eyes there's no value to it. So you don't care. And it stems from the concept of creating value. And the value comes from, in a typical person, it comes from beauty. It's acknowledging, like, there's beauty in this. And when something's beautiful, you value it. You value a beautiful car, a beautiful gem, a beautiful person. You value them. You cherish them. And if you don't value it, if you look at garbage, you're not valuing garbage. You throw it away. What classifies as garbage is like something that has no beauty to it. And when you understand that, like, that's the root of it. The root is acknowledging the beauty in it. So it's like when you understand that if God created it, and again, He created everything, then there's got to be beauty in it. There's beauty in every single thing and every single person. And it can go as deep down as sophisticated as a homeless person. It can go as deep down as sophisticated as a terrorist. There's a beauty in them. There has to be, because God created them. I'm not saying the beauty overrides the negative things about them, but it's still being able to identify the beauty in them and separating the two. At the end of the day, God does the same thing with us. As negative and terrible as Esav was, God still acknowledged the fact he respected his father. He spoke kindly. And because of that, his head was buried. Like that just perfectly shows how There's a difference. Just because you can acknowledge a beautiful trait about somebody does not make them a beautiful person. It doesn't. It doesn't make them an amazing person because this person is really good at speech. It's like, oh, this person was good at speech, but he was a terrorist and he caused a lot of mass murderings and this and that. It's like, that doesn't make, just because I said he's a good speaker does not mean I worship him. Does not mean I love him. Does not mean I stand by everything he did. But I can acknowledge the fact that he was a good speaker, that he was very good at what he did. Not acknowledge. Not, this does not mean that there's support. But typically, when somebody gives praise to something, it's by default looked at as like, oh, he supports it. And because of that, people tend to not give or not acknowledge or not give praise to things that do deserve praise, resulting in just overall giving an assumption. Overall, bad person. Overall, no respect. Overall, no value. When that's not true. It's not true. There is something valuable about them. There is beauty to them. Yes, they may have a million things and reasons to look at and look down on, but there's still something that you can look at them and look up to. Like, wow. And that's something that I feel is so important to grasp. And in my eyes, I feel like that's the only thing holding back Mashiach from coming, is the fact and the ability to find the beauty in everyone. And it's like you hear about stories of like, oh, the homeless person, that homeless person that knocked at your door 2 minutes before Shabbat and you shoot him away, that was Mashiach. If you would have greeted him properly and this and that, Mashiach would have came. You hear about stories like that all the time. Like, again, are they true? Are they not true? I have no idea. But at the same time, it's like, why would I think it's not true? Why would Hashem want to redeem the whole world and the Jewish nation, especially when we're not treating each other right? We're treating each other like garbage and cursing at each other, or talking negatively on each other. And it's like all that stems from the fact that we don't find the beauty in each other. That's really all it's lacking. All that's lacking is the perspective of finding the beauty. And it's not that we're not possible or there's no beauty there. We live in a day and age that is so driven off of negative things. Why do you think negative things are easier to find in a person than positive? Because our eyes are trained to see the negative. You look at news, you look at reportings, you look at things that are being publicized. Everything publicized is 99% of the time is a negative thing. Oh, look at this. Oh, look at this person. This person cheated on this person. This person, this drama on celebrities. This is doing this. This crime has just occurred on the news. Very rarely do we ever hear of a wholesome story. Like, wow, this person did this and, did this. And it's an amazing thing. And because we're so not trained for it, it's very difficult to acknowledge and identify it when it's in front of us. But at the same time, we're also, the moments that we can identify it and see, wow, something beautiful is right there, it's just as easy to be like, yeah, but this person also has all these flaws, and the flaws outweigh the positive, so overall, it's negative. And we quickly overlook all the positive things. And it's just coming and stems from the place of it's just not trained, where our mind and eyes are not trained at it, and it's something that constantly needs to be worked on. And I'm not speaking from a place that I'm any better than anybody else. I'm speaking from a place that's something I genuinely feel and actively want to attempt to work on, finding the beauty in every single person and every single thing. And it really should start with the people that you find it hardest to do that with. Because obviously Hashem's not going to test you with something that you have aced 100 times. He's not going to do that. He's going to test you with something that you have, the chances are you're probably going to fail. Because that's the whole point of the test. The whole point of the test is the placeholder, to see where you're holding. It's like if you ace everything, there's no reason for the test. God's not testing you to see the same result. He already knows the result. He knows you're going to ace it. But at the same time, it's like, I'm going to test you on, I'm not going to test you if you're going to be nice to your parents or your best friend. I'm going to test you, are you going to be kind to the homeless person? Are you going to be kind to a person that has wronged you in the past? That's the true test. And that's where it all stems off of. So where we're lacking, where each person is lacking, is exactly where they should start. Start right there. That's exactly where you should start. So with that, again, Lulei Nishma for Yosef ben Devorah, Gabriel Masao de Bat Sarah, and Yosef Meir ben Avram Shmuel. May all their neshamot have the ultimate aliyah. And a refuah shalema for Eliezer ben Miriam Razel. May the person have a speedy, immediate, full recovery. If anyone has any questions or comments, please feel free to reach out. Thank you.